Well, it looks like we're live. Hello, everybody. Come on in, have a seat. Let me see here. Get some comments. See. Dun, 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 dun. Do, 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 do. This is Mark and Colleen. Hey, Dana Johnson. Mary Warner. Hi, all you on YouTube and Facebook. Come on. Hi, Susan Norwood. We're sitting here in the Lazy Boys. I wanted y'all to see where we are most nights, watching TV and hanging out. Colleen sitting over there in her Lazy Boy, and I'm in mine.
I am.
And everybody, hey, we just thought we'd do a little Q&A and talk to y'all tonight. Because Monday, here's the deal. Monday night will be kind of different. Hey, Julie Dinner, Linda Han, Raymond Cannon, Mary Watson, Penny Phillips Day, Judy Ingram, all y'all coming in. Hello. Monday, Colleen and I are going to be heading to Lynchburg, Virginia. She's going to go home with me for Christmas to see my dad.
I am.
And hello, Sally. Let me put some comments up here. Hi, y'all. Best to you. Good night. They're coming in fast. Hello, everyone. Anyway, so we're going to be, what I thought we'd do maybe is on our trip up, we would broadcast live on Facebook, because the only way we could do it on the road, really, unless I'm using my laptop, is to do this on my phone. And as we're going down the road, I thought we'd broadcast live. And so just be aware that on Facebook, especially if you're watching on Facebook, I hope you are have liked my page, or what do you got to do to get notified on Facebook. We'll do some live things. So I don't know how to make these comments smaller so they won't go by so fast. I thought maybe you might have some questions and comments. Those chairs look comfortable. Who said that? Yes, they are. They're very comfortable.
They are so comfortable.
Louise.
I sit over here and snore.
She snores.
I'm sleepy.
So, hi Mark, I'm such a fan of you. Who's your favorite bass singer? Well, of course, James, my favorite bass singer was George Yonts back in the day. But today, oh my gosh, that's a great question. Who is your favorite bass singer, James? Today, I don't know. I'm looking for more questions. I'm just going to look for question marks. I love the painting behind your head, Mark. Any story behind it? What painting? Oh, that one over there, this one above my head. That, when I lived in Nashville, first of all, who said that? Let me put your name up there. Chris Vital. Hey, Chris. Glad you tuned in. Well, when I lived in Nashville, I had an interior decorator named Landy Gardner, who was Joy Gardner's husband, and he decorated a condo I had. And so that was one of the paintings he put in it. What did you think, Reverend Kelly Lee? What did I think of J.D. Sumner? I love J.D. He was my buddy. I keep looking at the microphone like, here's the camera over here. No, he was my buddy. Yeah, I love J.D. I think he was a pretty good bass singer. I don't think he was as good as George. Sounds like The Book of Faces. I don't know what you're talking about. The Book of Faces. Ionic shot. Today is your husband's 16th, and your wedding. Hey, Heidi Lofton, happy anniversary, 16 years. The kids sang Mary Did You Know? Oh, listen, I do a Google search on Mary Did You Know because I like to see where it's being sung, and it is so cool to see all the different places, even around the world, and other languages. I found on YouTube some like Arabic and all kinds of stuff.
Well, I sent you that thing today. I was just looking for songs to play Christmas songs to play, and I came across that Spotify. Where I sent you that text about
on Spotify. It's the number 15 song this year.
That's what
Christmas song.
Yeah,
and then somewhere else I sent you one back.
Yeah.
Of the top 100 songs, it says it's number 4 on some other list,
right.
And then 91 It was 4 with Pentatonics and 91 with Kenny Rogers and Winona.
Huh. Yeah, I just came across that. I was like, oh, there's Mary, did you know?
All right, I'm looking for more questions. What kind of chair? Teresa, I got these chairs at Gallery Furniture here in Houston. There's a local guy who started selling mattresses. They called him Mattress Mac.
Yeah.
And he started selling mattresses out of his truck, and now he's got the biggest furniture store, and he does so much for Houston. Like when the floods happen, he lets people sleep in his store, so that's I support his store. I like him. Oh, Shirley, thank you. Shirley says, Mark, I love you. Thank you, Shirley Lester. I appreciate that. And if you're in another country, put that up here so we can see what other countries are watching tonight. Let's see what David Daly said. Hi, Mark and Colleen. Hope things are nice and cool there. It's raging pool of heat in Australia. Oh, you're in Australia. It's hot in Australia. A temperature of 44 degrees, and that's Celsius, and that's very hot. Well, man, you know what? You should come over here if it's too hot for you. Where's your puppy? Where's Belladine?
She's right here behind me.
She's up. See her up there behind her arm? Your black coat makes her can't see her.
She's right here. Come here, Bella.
Right there.
Come here. She's
And
resting.
Who's
She's
that from? Mary Watson. Thank you for asking. What's our weather like, Steve Wodgton, however you say that? Is it cold out there?
It's like 54 degrees today.
Yes, Deborah Ross Dyke. We're driving to Lynchburg. We'll probably drive to New Orleans, spend the night there, and then head on up to Lynchburg, I guess, because it's 1,300 miles. Hello from Brazil. Wow, Brazil. A lot of people in Brazil watch. Where are we having dinner, Terry Hey, Terry Garland.
Hey, Terry.
Terry. He's
Oh,
watching
my
on
gosh.
YouTube. Terry's our buddy. Terry Garland was a promoter in the 70s, and if you remember Evie, he promoted Evie Tornquist, and she was huge. I mean, she was a major star. I'll give you a shout out, Zachary Owen. Hey, Mark, where's your precious Alzheimer's doctor? I don't have an Alzheimer's doctor. Liz Bostick Holland says, hi, Colleen.
Hey, Liz.
All right, let's see if we can find some more questions. Merry Christmas to us. Are the chairs heated, Pam? No, they're not. I don't know.
No heated.
We don't like heated seats. We don't like heated chairs.
No.
We do not. Where's your Christmas decorations? Oh, where are they?
They're back there.
Well, you can't see them really. Here, hold on. Let me turn on this other. Hold on. Let me put this up here. See that? Wait, there. And let's see. There. A little bit. And that is only because Steve Burba, Kathy Ward, Paula Johnson, and Dee Dee Oldham came to visit me, and they would not have it. Hey, Jeff Bennett. Look at there, Jeff. That's who asked that question. My buddy, Jeff Bennett. And they put them up. Okay, here's a question. Are you and Colleen an item? Are we an item?
Looks like it.
What kind of item would it be?
We are.
We have a show together, and we're good friends, but no, we're not an item, I don't think. Neither one of us really want an item. Mondays with Mark Voice. Oh, thank you, Jenny Montgomery. Voices of Lee was fantastic. You've always been one of my favorite. Thank you, Ionic Shock. Lucy Ross, what was your question? I see a bunch of question marks. Will you please lift my sister up in prayer? She is in hospice with cancer. Anita Hall. Yes, Lord Jesus, be with her. Mine is Scott. Okay, let me see more questions. Can you sing a little bit of Mary Did You Know? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day walk on water? Mary, did you know? Is she your girlfriend? No. You're my girl. You're a girl and you're my friend.
Yes.
Hi, Colleen. Donna Boone says,
Hey, Donna.
where are we having dinner? Terry Garland still wants to know. We don't know.
We
I don't
haven't
know. Where are we
discussed
going to have
it.
dinner?
We have not discussed that yet.
I know. 744 of y'all are watching all over YouTube and Facebook. What was your favorite song to sing while a member of the vocal band, Betty Bays, wants to know? My favorite song? Good night. Isn't that hard? Well, one I catch myself singing a lot even now is, well, satisfied by what she said. I'm satisfied. Boo doo boo boo. You know that one? He said he would be my comfort. Said he would be my guide. Well, looked at my hands. My hands look new. Looked at my feet, and they did too. Ever since that. And then there was, of course, I believe in a hill called Mount Calvary. I love that one. Do you prefer? Donna Zacharias wants to know: do I prefer doing comedy or stand-up, or singing? You know, I started out doing singing, and then I had to do something while the little old man in the back of the church would change the soundtracks, and so the humor came along. And actually, talking is a lot easier for me than singing. Singing takes, control and effort. And with singing, you repeat the same words over and over and over. With talking, you could go anywhere. And it's a lot more fun and a lot more chaotic and ADD satisfying. Oh, thank you. I'm so thankful everybody's still singing Mary Did You Know too. I'm very glad. I just had the most wonderful, Brenda Newhart, I just had the most wonderful conversation when Colleen got here. Buddy Green FaceTimed me. Buddy Green has learned how to FaceTime. Mm-hmm. And he FaceTimed me, and he learned because he's got a grandbaby. And that she lives in California, I think. Oh, yeah. And we had the most incredible time talking about the Lord. We always do. We always end up talking about something because he's so deep. Mm-hmm. Buddy Green is very deep. And I'm so thankful I met him. Deanne S. is trying to bake. Am I writing anything? Susan wants. Susan Warshanowitz. Warshanowitz. Is that how you say your name, Susan? Are you writing it? I'm supposed to be, but I'm not. I'm supposed to be working on a musical with Cheryl Rogers and Martha Bolton, but Martha's had some family problems, and I'm lazy. This whole year I've taken off, and it's gone so well. I'm going to extend the tour.
I like that. Extended tour.
But I'll get back to it. Are you coming to Panama City anytime? You know what? I'm not. If you look at marklowry.com, that's all I can tell you. The dates will be there when and if I end up doing anything. And I am doing some things next year. What did I ask Donna? Hey, Donna. What did I ask? I haven't asked Santa for anything yet. Have you? What do you want for Christmas?
I have not thought about it. A vacation, I guess.
And then David Peterson wants to know, what's your favorite Christmas song besides Mary Did You Know? What is my favorite Christmas song? What is yours?
You know what always comes is that I'll Be Home for Christmas. I love that song. I do too. I just love that song. But I do love Oh Holy Night.
Oh Holy Night. Yeah. It's hard to beat that one.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Tammy Scott Edgar. She says, I bring a smile to her face when it's difficult to find one. That makes me feel so good. Thank you, Tammy. That's why I do it. And I didn't even have to leave the house. I love that. Victor on Periscope says, hey, Victor, says he got to meet JD. JD was JD Sumner. He was my friend the last 5 years of his life. He was single. His wife had passed away, and he was alone. And so I'd take him to breakfast and just to hear his stories. I wasn't doing it to be, taking care of an old widow. widower. You know, it wasn't that at all. I saw him lean over at one of those Gaither tapings and whisper in George Younts's ear, and I saw George Younts belly laugh and nearly cough up a lung, and I thought right then, I got to know that old man because he's funny. And so we became good friends, and he was an incredible person. Okay, introduce me to Colleen. How do you know her? How do I know you? How long have I known you?
Oh, my word.
30 years?
30. More. Yeah, no, more than 30.
You think?
Uh-huh.
40?
I met you through Dina in like 1982. And that's how we just have known each other forever.
And where are you from? Ronnie Piedmont wants to know.
Port Neches, Texas.
Port Neches, Texas. And Kaylee Widner, what was your favorite homecoming video? Do you like the most? What video did you like the most that you were on? Well, of course, Mark Lowry on Broadway. I love that one, and I love.
I liked the California one.
Hollywood.
Because I was in it.
But as far as the homecoming, I like the ones where we're all sitting around in a circle, semicircle.
Oh, the homecoming.
Yeah, the homecoming ones. Rather than at the Kennedy Center or at the Carnegie Hall, they were fun. But the one where we're sitting in a semicircle and everybody's kind of looking at each other, watching each other, and pulling for each other, those are fun. Okay. Oh, looky here. Elwith David from India. Hey, India. Yes, Tammy, I am still busy having a break. My favorite, okay, Andrea Sims wants to know my favorite Bible verses. Well, I love the one where Jesus says, if your child asks you, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it memorized, but Jesus says, well, if your child asks you for a piece of bread, would you give him a stone? If he asks you for a chicken leg, would you give him a snake? And you being evil, Jesus says, know how to give good gifts. How much more does your Father in heaven know how to and want to give good gifts to us? I love that. And I love, are you tired, worn out? This is from the Message Bible. Burned out on religion? Come to me. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me, work with me, watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I'll not put anything too heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. And that's in the Bible in Matthew, I think. Yeah, Matthew. Anyway, I like those. What inspired you to write Mary Did You Know? You know what? I've told that a million times, but I'll tell you real fast. My preacher called me, asked me to write a Christmas musical. I wrote a monologue that kind of had a lot of parts in it of Mary Did You Know, like the child that you delivered would one day on a cross deliver you, and when you kiss your little baby, you were kissing the face of God. So I took those lines out of that little piece, and after the show was completed, I sat down and wrote. I thought, if I could have a cup of coffee with Mary, what would I ask her? And also, I wanted to write it from as if a little hyperactive angel came along with the big one, the big one that said Mary, and the Magnificat, and a little hyper one said, but do you know what it's going to happen? He will walk on water. He will give sight to the blind, all those things that the angel didn't tell her.
There you go.
And what happened is, when you sing it, Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? It changes the perspective, as if you're in 2019 talking to her back then, explaining it to her. No, this was like from the manger scene. He will. So when you get to the bridge, it makes sense. The blind will see. The dead will, the blind will see. The deaf will hear. The dead will live again. But if you change it from will to would, you mess up the song, really, because then you're explaining to Mary rather than, what inspired you to, okay, I already said that. Let's see. I want you to, okay, another question about JD. He was just like you saw it. Someone, Jose Mancia wants to know, what was he like in real life? Just like he was on TV when you saw him. What's your favorite place to eat on the road? What would it be? Good night. Oh, most of them are in Houston. Mm-hmm. Most of my favorite restaurants are right here. Let's see. Any more question? Brenda Johnson, you keep saying question, or Brenda Howard, but I don't see your question. Just Colleen, I love your. Oh, Julie Diener, Colleen, I love your singing voice. You're perfect together with Mark.
Oh, we do harmonize.
You are a harmonizer.
I am.
Mark, I saw you when you came to Enid, Oklahoma. Sally, hey Sally, got to sit in on the front row. Did you major in music? No, I majored in youth. Once the Lord called me to do what I was supposed to do. I was studying to be a businessman. When the Lord called me, I switched to youth to get a youth major, because at Liberty Baptist College, it was called back then, the quickest way out was to get a youth degree. If you had an IQ of plant life, you could get that.
Like what, for like a youth pastor?
Yeah, Campfire 101, easy stuff. So I just wanted out. Did I ever think Mary Did You Know would ever be as popular? No. But I kind of got a clue one day when I was at the Walmart, maybe 30 or 40 years after it had been written, not 30 or 40, maybe 10 or 15. I can't talk and read. I can't talk and read these at the same time. But I was at Walmart. I picked up Natalie Cole's CD, and Mary Did You Know was on it. I picked up Donny Osmond's Christmas CD, and Mary Did You Know was on it. That's when I knew it was something, because I didn't even know they'd recorded it.
You didn't?
No. Not till I saw it at the Walmart.
Wow.
Hey, and we're going to hear Pentatonic Saturday night.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Pentatonic.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. I'm excited to go hear them sing it in their Christmas show.
Live. I mean, that'll be great.
That'll be fun. My Christmas tree, Jeff Bennett, I've already told you that. Why do you keep asking that? Okay, wait a second. What is Christmas Day like in Mark Lowry's house? Karen Barman Lutschaft wants to know. Well, that's my text going off. Oh my God, have you listened to? Oh, it's a podcast. Dina just asked me if I'd listened to a podcast called Dr. Death. Do y'all listen to podcasts? I love those murder podcasts. Dr. Death must be a good one. Okay, what was the question? Christmas Day in my house is like any other day, really. I mean, if it's just me. But if my mom and dad's, of course, then it really, takes off. But I never just have Christmas by myself. I want to know if you've ever been in love. Oh, I've been in Have you've been in love, haven't you?
Yeah, and love.
Yeah. Well, I don't think so. I don't know. Love is in love. Love is something you do. Really, it's just Well, oh yeah, David Peterson. That's gonna be fun seeing Pentatonics. Anyways, love. What do you guys want for Christmas? I don't know. Soska Eva 4. And you know what? I don't have any Christmas. These are embarrassing questions. Cindy Gibson Wrigley wants to know, what is your favorite Christmas tradition? Eating would be I guess. I don't have a tradition. Do you have a tradition?
I don't.
Gloria Gaither is the best at traditions. They have soup and carols. They have so many traditions.
Yeah.
And my mom and dad we had presents and food. And then we'd go see Nanny and Pawpaw, and then we'd go see Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah.
We'd make the rounds.
Well, a lot of people, some people do like Christmas Eve. So we've kind of started doing that, that everybody's grown. People just do Christmas Eves.
Hi, Hannah. What is your favorite Christmas story? Well, my favorite Christmas story is the one I post. I think I posted the last few Christmases of my dad.
Yeah.
telling that about the snowman or the little angel coming to Santa or something.
Yeah, it's funny.
And because he's laughing so hard, it makes it, so that's probably my favorite. Gladys May wants to know, is there a free CD of Mary Did You Know from, I don't know. I don't know of any free CDs. How about Lust? Charlotte, Sneathern, how about Lust? Now that's a sin, you know. Of course I've lusted, who hadn't? What one artist do you seem to like singing Mary? Oh, that's a good question. What one artist do you like singing Mary? Did you know? Gosh. The Christ Church Choir. Have you ever Googled that, Heidi? Go to YouTube and put in Mary Did You Know Christ Church Choir. And I think it's still probably in the top 5 anyway of my favorites. Do you know that the Collins are singing at the White House tomorrow? No. Wow. I love the Collingsworth family. They are so sweet. You know what, Brenda? This is not sweet tea anymore. I've gone to unsweet. Unsweet decaffeinated. That's what I've gone to. All right, any more questions? No one is there a song that is your favorite? Oh, I don't know, Ricky. The Love of God. I love the second verse of The Love of God. I love so many of the Gaither songs. I believe, help thou my unbelief. I take the finite risk of trusting like a child. I love that one. I believe, Lord, help my unbelief. I walk into the unknown, trusting all the while. I love that one. I long so much to feel the warmth that others seem to know. But should I never see a thing, is that what it says? Should I never see a thing, I claim him even so. Never feel a thing, that's it. I claim him even so. I love that one. Anyway, there's a lot of them. Anna Lavelle, am I ever going to get married? Is that what you asked me? Probably not. I mean, I'm 61. It's a little late. What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you on stage? Oh, my gosh. Well, I'll tell you. Oh, gosh, I hate this story. And some of you may already know it, because it's my most embarrassing moment ever on stage. I was early on with the Gaithers. We were at Family Fest in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. You may not realize that, but when we're on the stage and we have the lights on our eyes, we can't see the audience. I mean, I can see maybe the first row if I'm lucky, but it's just blinding. And I was being heckled. This is like maybe a month or two into the Gaither, being with Gaithers. I hadn't been heckled at a Gaither concert. They don't throw tomatoes. If they throw anything, it'd be bran muffins. They're polite people. And so someone started heckling me. And I hadn't been heckled since I did public high schools back in the 80s, in the early 80s, with Jerry Johnston, an evangelist. We'd do 5 or 6 public high schools a day, and you'd get heckled. Well, I had a few lines I'd use on these kids, and kids that will heckle you want to be picked on. That's why they're heckling. They love the attention. So I would give it to them. Well, I'm up there on the Gaither show, and I'm talking about pivot on your good foot or something, one of my stories, and I hear, your face is going to stick like that. And I think, what? This is not happening. And everybody around him kind of laughs. And I keep talking and ignore it. Your face is gonna stick like that. And it got louder, and people started laughing. And finally, I had to respond. I said, yeah, that's what happens to you when your mother takes drugs while she's pregnant. And I'd used that in high school, and it was funny then. The kids loved it. And let me tell you, that audience sucked air. I nearly lost 3 fillings. The air pressure changed in that room. I mean, it went from laughter to crickets. And I felt that, and I had to finish the story, and no one was laughing. And I felt that lonely drop of sweat that runs down your back and lands in your underwear when you're bombing. And I sit down next to Michael English, and he is the color of this right here. He is this color. And I said, what happened? And he said, he's in a wheelchair. And I put my ear up next to him and said, what? He said, he's in a wheelchair. And I'd said, that's what happens to you when your mother takes drugs while she's pregnant.
Terrible. Oh, my word.
Horrible. I was horrified. In fact, it took me 3 or 4 years when we'd go back to that auditorium. I'd get so spooked. It was the weirdest thing. Bill had to finally say, Mark, I know you're spooked in there because of what happened. You've got to get over it. And I did. But boy, it was a while because I was just horrified that I had hurt someone like that. Because the audience thought I could see him. And that's why I said that.
Yeah.
That's not possible. And I learned, but you know one thing about that? I learned this. Don't talk to anybody if you can't see them. And so from that point on, whenever I get heckled, I'd put a spotlight on them. I got to know who I'm talking to.
Yeah, exactly.
You know. Woo! Thank you, Timothy Allen Gamble, for that horrifying walk down memory lane. Teresa Schroepfer wants to know, have you ever been caroling? Oh, yes. I love that. When did you decide to give it a go as a comedian? I never did. I don't consider myself a comedian now. I just talk between the songs. That's all I've ever done. And people laugh. But see, Independent Fundamental Baptist, where I was trained from 1980 to 1988, that's all I did. I did about 200 concerts a year. Remember those days? When you and your mother would come see me at a little Baptist church somewhere?
Yes.
Anyway, I was traveling by myself and doing 200 concerts a year in these Independent Fundamental Baptist churches. Well, several things you got to know about them back then. They wouldn't clap because after you sang, they wouldn't clap because that's giving glory to men. They wouldn't shout, too loudly because they're afraid someone might think they're doing it in another language. But they would laugh. And that's how I knew they were listening. And all I cared about is, are they listening? If they're not listening, it doesn't matter what you have to say, if it's true or not. If they're asleep, what good is it? You should have stayed home. Let's see. Who is Bill Gaither? Who is Bill Gaither's favorite artist? Oh gosh, I have no idea. Probably me. Thank you, Kathy, for what is my favorite Christmas song? We already answered that. Oh, Holy Night. Where's the furthest you've ever traveled? South Africa, I guess. No, would Australia be further? Probably Australia. Love the book table. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a big old book, isn't it? In Roanoke, anything in our area? Let me see. Hey, Dale Bennett. I'm going to be in Lynchburg for Christmas, but I won't be doing anything like performing or anything. Alvin, Texas. Where's Alvin, Texas? They said, do you ever venture on this side of Houston? Do you know where Alvin is?
Yeah.
I've heard of it. It's around here somewhere. What's something good you learned from being an independent Baptist? Well, I'll tell you, the church I was raised in, I don't know about all of them, but we memorized the Bible, which I loved, and we'd have Bible quizzes at camp, and youth camp was so incredible. Camp Beulah Land was so much fun. And the Bible was so important to knowing it and understanding it, and I'm grateful for that. I loved my childhood. Did you love yours?
I did.
Yeah, being United Pentecostal. What'd you learn from them?
Well, I don't know. Right. I mean, I did love it. I mean, we went to church all the time, but I didn't mind that. I enjoyed it, being there with my friends and, running the aisles, and I enjoyed church.
Hey, Japanese. She's in Japan, I guess. It's Japanese. Oh, I don't know what that means. Anime. I don't understand all that.
Anime?
What's your favorite Christmas movie? You know what? I like Home Alone.
Do you?
I love that movie. I just bought it because I want to see it again. Do you have... Okay, here's a great question. Do you have lutefisk and lefse at Christmas? I don't have a clue. That must be some food over there and somewhere else. It sounds like fish, but I've never heard of it. Okay, I'm looking for more questions, y'all. Okay, Keller McGarry, I have questions for you. What was it like meeting Donny Osmond? It was nice. We were in Vegas and went to see that show. About four of us, right?
Yeah.
And we went and saw him and got to meet him afterwards because I wrote Mary Did You Know? I tell you that Mary Did You Know will get you in places.
Yeah, it does.
It'll get you in places, especially if they recorded it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, any other questions? Love your Thank you, Kristen Rex. Loves Piper the Mouse. They said it was the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. But hours before, there was much stirring then, for Piper the Mouse was the hyperest he'd been. He tried to be good, but his patience grew thin. He wanted it Christmas right there and right then. He stared at those presents like catfish to bait. What was inside them, he just couldn't wait. One gift was Mark Piper. So trying to peek, he pulled on the ribbon, stretching it with his feet. But instead of it breaking, it snapped with a force, catapulting poor Piper in the air. And of course the window was open, so out Piper flew. There's no telling how many red lights he flew through. Some church doors were open. He flew right inside, past the pews and the pastor. What a wonderful ride. He landed smack dab in a pillow of hay, then realized he was now in their Christmas Eve play. There was Mary and Joseph, the shepherds and sheep. They were saying their lines. He didn't dare make a peep. They said that God loved us and gave us his son. So at Christmas, it's giving, not getting, that's fun. Piper looked right beside him, and there on the hay lay the most precious baby ever born to this day. He jumped off that manger and ran to his house, breaking all the speed limits that apply to a mouse. He got his one gift and dragged it 4 miles to the church, to the stage, to the manger, and smiled. He gave it to Jesus. It was all he could do. Then the angel said, "Oh, Piper, Jesus would rather have you." The play was now over. The cast took their bows. Piper took one himself with the sheep and the cows. Then he walked home that night with something new to believe, for he'd learned it's much better to give than receive. And when he got to his house, he did not make a peep, just made gifts for his loved ones, then fell fast asleep. So, that night before Christmas, that's why all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even Piper the Mouse. Applause. Thank you. What led you to move to Houston? Deanne, I was born here in 1958. My parents were born here. My grandfather could remember when Houston had one stoplight. So, this is my home. Mm-hmm. How many Piper stories have you written? I don't know. 4 or 5. And I've written them with Martha Bolton. She writes them with me. She is amazing. Okay, I saw you and the needle's going to see if you got it. I don't know where you saw that. But I'd love to do some concerts with the Nealons. I love you. I love them. Yes, Russell. I'm Wade Marshall. Are you planning to have Lanny Wolf back? I am. I would love. We're gonna have the Lanny Wolf trio on, and then those Jackson School of Music kids are coming back. Dusty, any idea when you're going back on tour? And Merry Christmas, brother. Thank you, Dusty. I'm never going back on tour, like get in a bus and go tour. But I'm going to go do dates, like spot dates here and there from now on, rather than touring. My touring days are over. Unless, maybe one day I might want to do a Christmas tour. Who knows? I'm not retiring. We're just changing things and doing it differently, and really don't even know how it's going to play out, other than I'm just not allowing anything to be booked right now. The dates I have booked for next year that are already contracted, I will fulfill, but nothing else is added. You can't book a Mark Lowry date now, for right now, just because I don't want to do anything right now. I thank you for sharing your personal time with me. How do you like living in Houston versus Nashville? I love Nashville too, but Houston is my home. This is where all my friends and family, for the most, well, except my immediate family, because they moved to Lynchburg in '78. I was going to college up there, and I turned around one day, and there sat Mom and Dad parked. I thought, what are you doing up here? They said, we've moved. I said, okay.
Oh my.
So they love it up there. They loved it up there. Mama died up there. She's buried up there. And they love Lynchburg. They love Virginia. If you had not become a musical artist and comedian, what line of work would you envision yourself doing? Jake, Tara, Stanley. Hey, Jake and Tara. I would probably be something in computers. Something to do with computers, because I love all this geeky stuff. I love going live just for the sake of it. Mm-hmm. I love it. I love the geeky stuff almost as much as, well, probably not, talking and stuff. I love to talk. Oh, man, Catherine, we've had so many good moments with Bill Gaither. I couldn't even begin. Anytime I get to, we talk on the phone all the time. Even though I'm not traveling with him right now. He calls all the time, and I love those moments. To just talk. Whenever he has a new joke, he loves jokes. I've never known anybody who loves a joke. And I'm not a joke teller. Mm-hmm. I don't ever say, "Did you hear the one about?" Because I don't care. Mm-hmm. And when Bill Gaither says, "Hey, did you hear the one about?" I always smile and try to pay attention. I mean, honestly, I do. And a few times I've actually made it to the end of the joke without my brain going on vacation. But if it's a true story, like if he came up and said, "Mark, let me tell you what happened to me today," there's no way I could go on a brain vacation. Mm-hmm. Because truth is always funnier than what you can make up, I think. What is your favorite gift you ever got for Christmas? Colleen, you've not said nothing tonight.
I'm letting you do all the talking.
Are you about to fall asleep over there?
No.
How was school today?
It was crazy because it was just kind of a party day today. They just were doing, fun activities, and then we had a party, and I always throw a big party for them, and they love that.
Yeah.
So.
Colleen teaches 4th grade.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite Christmas gift, probably something when I was a kid. I remember we got these little cars, battery-operated cars you could ride around in. I loved that when I was a kid. Let's see, what else is going on in here? Any questions, any statement? What famous person? That's a good question, Ronnie Hutchison. What famous person made you the most nervous meeting? I don't know. Nervous. I don't get nervous. But excited, maybe? Dolly Parton. I love Dolly Parton. And I like meeting all of them, They're just people,
Right.
They're just.
I know, that's...
Like Pentatonics when we go Saturday night. I don't know if we'll have backstage passes, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go back there to meet them. I want to hear them sing.
All right.
Am I an Astros fan? Timothy Allen Gamble, you bet your sweet bippy.
We are.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh, yes. Because they win. Oh, Mike Carter. Thank you, Mike. Talking about Piper said, now you know the rest of the story. I need to end that. When I end the story, now you know the rest of the story. Happy birthday, Brittany Allen's mom. Diane, visiting mom. It's her birthday. Can you give my mom a shout out? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Diane. Happy birthday to you. Do you remember telling haircut? Do you remember telling Guy Penrod to get a haircut? Jared, I remember one time we were at a United Pentecostal church in Alexandria, Indiana. Mm-hmm. What's the name of that church over there, the big one? The Pentecostals.
Indiana?
In Louisiana. Alexandria, Louisiana.
Yeah.
You know that one over there?
Uh-huh.
The Pentecostals of
Alexandria.
I mean, it's a big United Pentecostal
yeah.
church.
It
And
is.
you were raised in that kind of church, and you know all the ladies have their hair up, right, in the church. So we were singing there. The vocal band was, and it was sometime during the night. I looked at Guy and said, "Guy, I can't believe we're at a United Pentecostal church. You should have worn your hair up." And they came unglued.
That's funny.
So I remember that one. Mm-hmm. Oh, why was Jesus born as a baby? Well, what else would he have been born as? I don't know. I don't know. But I guess that's because everything that's ever been born in the human species is a baby. Mm-hmm. So if he was going to come, that's the way he'd have to do it. Either of you tell us one of your testimonies how you became famous. One of your testimonies of a testimony of how you became famous. What an odd question. My testimony is when I met Jesus. And I'm not really famous, I don't think, but thank you for thinking it, I guess. Colleen, are you done with school yet? Annette wants to know. Are you done with school yet?
No. Well, I have to go tomorrow.
You do?
You mean for the holidays?
The kids are gone.
The kids are, yes, but I have to go tomorrow.
What do you have to go do?
It's just a teacher work day. We just go to a little training and then, just get everything cleaned up and shut down for the next 2 weeks.
Lynn Pat wants to know, what have you enjoyed most about taking this year off? Not having to travel, but traveling if I want to, to go do stuff. But not having to, okay, here's the time to go get on the plane and then get on the bus. Does my dad still tilt bed? Probably not, Jenny. There's no one to tell him to now. Thank you, Charlotte, for loving the Lanny Wolf sing-along. How often do you make it back to Virginia? Not as often as I should. The problem is Lynchburg is not on the way to anywhere. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to be going.
And it's hard to fly in there, too. I mean,
Probably once or twice a year I get up there. Well, all right, I guess it's time to go eat. Yes, thank the Lord, Ernie Lansford. I did sell the Immaculate Contraption. It is sold. And I also sold the Holy Roller, the RV that I had. I sold that to a friend of mine, Big Eddie. And you had where are you going to spend Christmas? With my dad in Virginia, and Colleen's going with me. We're going on a long road trip, and we're going to be not FaceTiming, but Facebooking live on our road trip whenever we think about it. So keep your phones near you. We'll show you our trip.
Mm-hmm. If the weather permits, right? Have you been checking the weather?
I haven't been checking the weather.
Yeah.
Have you?
No, but, it's
another cruise. I love being on the cruise. Cindy, hey, Cindy Morrison, I'm so glad you came on that cruise. Wasn't that fun? That was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And my brother Mike, thank you for, what did she say about Mike? Okay, brother on. Playing his guitar. Thank you, Linda. Oh, listen, y'all. That's. I'm glad you brought this up, Tammy. What do you think of Reba Rambo, lady coming out? Exciting. Yes, Reba Rambo's 1975 or 76 project, lady, is now out on digital format, and it even sounds better than the original because they went back and remastered it. And so I want to encourage you to go to iTunes and download it. It's a phenomenal project. It won all kinds of Dove Awards, it's up for Grammys. It was phenomenal. I'm reading. I saw you with Kathy. Saw you with Kathy Dercoli. I cannot believe you saw that. That was so long ago. You guys were great together. We did have fun. There was the Mark and Kathy show. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
I vaguely remember it myself. Will you have her on Monday? I'd love to have her on Mondays with Mark. Let's see. I'm looking for questions. Do you have any new goals you want to achieve, Colleen? Susan wants to know. Do you have any new goals? You're retiring this year. What are your goals now?
Well, somebody asked me that the other day, asked me what I was passionate about, and that's kind of one of the things that I've thought about retiring. It's kind of scary to think it's gonna be a new way of life.
After 30, how many years?
35 years, yeah.
You won't have to get up at 5 in the morning.
Right. That'll be a big change, but I will probably still do some work in the schools. Maybe subbing, or I even maybe doing some like a part-time job at the school, because that's my career, but that's about all that I've thought about.
It is scary.
Yeah.
Like even this year off, there were times where I started thinking, oh, man, what am I going to do today? Mm-hmm. But you just got to keep yourself busy.
Yeah.
Okay, here's Casey Fowler wants to know, Colleen, what is the funniest story you can tell about Mark? I'll let you think on that.
Yeah.
Have you ever been a substitute teacher, Mark? No, but I've thought about it.
Yeah, you should.
I thought that could be fun.
Yeah. You would want elementary. You would want to stay with the little
Imelda
ones.
Fitt wants to know, what did you do for your party? Your party today? Like, what did you do for the kids?
Oh, for the kids. Oh, Lord, we just, they played games. We do a gift exchange. Girls bring girls' gifts, boys bring boys' gifts, and we do like musical chairs, and they love it. I mean, and they're just, they're just little gifts that they bring, but they just have the best time playing those, exchanging those gifts.
Trisha Walter wants to know your worst gift ever. I don't remember. Well, you just re-gift it. That's all you do. I've re-gifted a few things.
Well, as a teacher, students bring gifts, and it's sometimes you're like, it's things you would probably never use, like a gold elephant. I got a gold elephant this year it's like a fragrance diffuser, and I can't use any fragrance because of my allergies, like, any of that, Scentsy and all of that. It just burns my nose, and so I'll never use that gold elephant, but that student was so proud to give it to me. I love that they love giving gifts. And
who is your favorite Christian comedian? I love Jeannie Robertson. I love her too. Do you know who she is? Mm-mm. Jeannie, I'd love to have her on Mondays with Mark.
I don't know.
I'd say, yeah, she'd be one of my favorites. She is funny. Have you met the Bush family? I met Laura Bush. I got to sit next to her at Candy Christmas's fundraiser banquet that I performed at, and Laura Bush spoke at, and it was for the bridge that she works with. Do you like being on stage with Bill Gaither? Absolutely. He's the best straight man in the world. When did I know I needed to have a relationship? Troy Lancaster wants to know, with Jesus. Well, my mom and I, and Dad, Mom especially, talked about Jesus from my first day alive. I mean, I don't remember ever when she didn't talk about him. And we went to church, so I knew it was important to know him. But when I was 14, at church camp, on a Tuesday night, June 5th, 1973, I put my stake in the ground and said, as for me, I'm going to believe this. And I did, and I still do. I believe Jesus rose from the dead. And if you believe that God has raised him from the dead, you will be saved. That's what it says. Do you love college football, Colleen?
No.
I don't either.
I don't get into that much.
Who would you like to have to a dinner party? Living or dead or past? Living or past, she says. Teresa, what a great question. Well, of course, Jesus. And, obviously. I don't know. Who else? I've eaten with most of them that I really think are interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to think that's a good one, too. Y'all, I'm sorry we're not very good at answering your questions tonight.
I would like to have maybe, some of those Food Network people that we like to watch. Like the Pioneer Woman that does the Food Network. That would be fun to have a dinner party with.
Oh, yeah?
Those people from Food Network, like Guy.
Let them cook.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, of course.
That would really be fun.
Are you a Star Wars fan?
Mm-mm.
You're not?
I think I might have seen the first one, but no, I've not kept up with that. So
I will go see it just because I like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not.
Did Bill Gaither ever lose his hair during a concert? Kevin, that is his real hair. He wouldn't buy a wig that ugly. Come on, think.
It's funny.
What are your plans for? I'm going home, Linda. And keep that. What are you plans for Christmas? I'm going home.
I'll be home.
I'll be home for Christmas. Well, this was fun. I don't see. Does having ADD help or hinder you when you sing? Well, the problem is I've never known what it's like not to have it, so I have nothing to compare it to. And no, it doesn't seem to be a problem when I sing. Wait, that didn't come up. Wait a minute. There it is. Barb Wallace asked that. Would I be willing to sing with Pentatonics when they do their arrangement of Mary Did You Know? Absolutely not. Are you out of your mind?
Oh, Lordy.
Can you imagine if you don't know the parts? I don't know the parts. No. No, I would not. But thanks for asking. Did you ever live in Cookeville, Tennessee? No, but I had a houseboat there at the Cookeville Boat Dock. Wasn't that fantastic?
The most incredible times.
The houseboat. 5 years I lived on a houseboat, basically. And it was a fun time.
It was fun.
Thank you, Pam. You are more intelligent than you think. Well, I think I'm pretty smart. But thanks. Do you remember? Okay, I don't remember. Love your ways. You were so down to earth. Oh, thank you, Ann Evans. She loves our ways. What UPC church did you grow up in, Colleen?
United Pentecostal Church of Port Neches.
United Pentecostal Church of Port Neches, which your grandmother started.
Yes, she did. And now it's Landmark United Pentecostal Church.
Yeah, Landmark.
In Port Neches.
Troy Lancaster, yes. I went on tour with Michael W. Smith and got to hang out with him. What are you going to do with your time off, Colleen? I guess over Christmas. Well, she's going home with me for Christmas.
Yeah.
So we're going to drive to Lynchburg. So listen, y'all, over the next few days, keep your phones on. Starting Monday, I think we might start heading out Monday. And we'll Facebook along the way. I was told I was not a Christian. Kathy McKinney says, I was told I was not a Christian because I celebrate a pagan holiday. Do you think Christmas is pagan? Well, whoever told you that's an idiot, okay? First of all, believing or not believing in Christmas doesn't have anything to do with being a Christian, right? Knowing Jesus makes you a Christian. Believing in Jesus is what changes you from a non-believer to a believer, a Christian. So those people are idiots. Hate to say it, don't know who they are, so I'm not talking about anybody. But anybody would say if you celebrate Christmas, you're not a Christian, is an idiot. Is that a bad word? So no, I don't think it's a pagan. And if it is, we've turned it into a good one. You know, Jesus can turn anything into something good. Catherine, thank you for loving our little Q&A or Q&R, question and response. We don't always answer, but we will respond. I like Q&R better. Oh, that is a funny one. Marcia Holtman, she said, I have to tell you, when you did Jesus on the main line with David, Guy, and Bill, it cracked me up and still does today. That is a funny one. Does your dad still drive? Patty, my dad still drives. That's why I live in Houston. He's up in Lynchburg taking those corners on two wheels. This is my house, Elva Wolf. These are my lazy boys. This is where we sit about every night when she comes over, when we watch TV. I sang with Bill Gaither the first time in 1988 when he asked me to come and audition for the Gaither vocal band, Esther. And so I sang with him in 1988. And then I joined the group. Did your family ever sing together when you were young? Mine didn't, but yours did. Mm-hmm. She had the D Heart Trio, right?
We did.
Yeah. Well, all right, y'all. This has been fun. We'll have to do this again sometime. How old are these fourth graders?
9, 10.
They're 9 and 10. She wants to know. She lives in Norway.
Oh.
Marianne B. Happy Ostreim. Hello, Marianne. 9 or 10 years of age. Mm-hmm. And you got a few that are older.
A little older.
They were kept back.
Right.
Timothy wants to know, do I still have a motorcycle? I do not. I have scooters now. I have 3 of them. And I have a trailer where I can pull them. And we all took them up to Colorado and scooted around there. And that was fun.
Took them to Lynchburg.
Yeah, I took them to Lynchburg. Mm-hmm. That was a long trip.
That was a long trip.
Pulling that trailer. What was my favorite subject in school? Recess.
Oh, God.
That was my favorite subject.
Yeah. I loved music. I loved elementary music and through my whole school career.
You like the music?
I was in music. Yes, I always was in music.
Okay, this is the last question. What is the best restaurant you like in Houston? If you had to pick one.
Well, Taste of Texas always comes to my mind.
Taste of Texas. Maybe we should go there tonight. I've got those gift cards. Somebody sent me Taste of Texas gift cards and didn't tell me who it's from. It had no way of knowing who it's from. All right, y'all. Be watching. We'll be checking in with y'all as we travel to Lynchburg. And I hope you have a good Christmas.
Yeah, and say prayers for us.
Say prayers. Pray that the weather stays good. Bye-bye.
Bye.